Thank you all for joining us. This is the No FOMO crew. We're all in this together. Let's go ahead and hand it over to David and Dan for a first look at the VeVeVerse.
Thank you, Alex. Awesome to see so many people here. It's going to be pretty tough following Lambo and Banksy, but I'll do my best. So number one, the VeVeVerse is actually real, and it is going to be rolled out very soon. I know the VIPs here last night got a chance to have a look with the VR headset. We're going to be setting that up later on after the demonstration so everybody can have a real-time experience. So just before we actually get into the demo, I just wanted to cover off a few points about the VeVeVerse, because I know a lot of people are going to have questions around the technical capabilities, etc. So I'm just going to run through a few kind of basic slides, and then we'll get into the exciting stuff. Right. So number one, technical capabilities of the VeVeVerse platform. Number one, multi-device support, whether that's AR, VR, Mac, PC, iOS, Android, tablets, everything. It's all about making sure that the VeVeVerse is available on all the platforms that everybody wants to use. Number two, little bit nerdy, but it is game engine agnostic. There are two major game engines in the world, Unity and Unreal Engine. The VeVeVerse can port to both of them. So if you have a super high-spec gaming machine, you can use the Unreal Engine version, which will have all of that cool Unreal rendering capabilities. Even better, number three, your VeVe home space, you can cloud stream that from anywhere in the world. So you can share your VeVe home space just by sending someone a link. Our gaming servers on AWS will render it in the absolute highest quality in Unreal Engine, and then it will be streamed live to anyone's browser. So that you won't need to download anything, you don't need a high-spec machine. It means anyone in the world can play it, yeah. Of course, it has a ton of multi-user capabilities, which we'll get into a bit later. The VeVeVerse is a persistent world, and that means that if you move something, if you add something, if you scale something, change a color, all of the changes will automatically be saved. You don't have to worry about anything. When you come back, it'll be there straight away. And of course, in the VeVeVerse, you will have avatars. We will be bringing out our own avatar system at some point in the future, but until then, you can bring in Ready Player Me, Taffy, or you can use our simple customizable avatar system to start with. Apparently Anthony's typing, if anybody wants to know. There will be levels of access and permission. If you don't want people to enter your VeVe home, you can make it public, you can make it private. I agree, Anthony, it is. Seamless AR, VR experience, which we'll demo later on. The other great thing about the VeVeVerse, like Roblox and Minecraft, there is a scripting language over the top. So if you guys eventually want to create your own games, you want to do something cool, like make something rotate, or if somebody clicks on something, it'll do a cool thing. So it has a whole scripting language over the top. It has a particle support system. You know, you want it to be raining, you want clouds, you want lightning, sparklers, fireworks, whatever. You can do that with the particle system. It also has LOD support, which is level of detail, which means that the further an item is away from you, it will be lower quality. You won't notice because it's so far away, but it means that we can have hundreds and hundreds of models and assets within the VeVeVerse. So some of the multi-user capabilities, I'll just quickly run through this because we're going to be demoing it live, but obviously you can have a friends list, you can invite friends, there's communication tools, audio, video, text chat, we've got stream boards, whiteboards, a whole lot of other drawing tools, text notes, you can bring in images, sharing, you can follow other users. So for example, I say, you know, come to my VeVe home, you can actually follow me and you'll be walking around behind me automatically. Now, what type of content can you bring into the VeVeVerse? So number one, of course, you can bring VeVe collectibles, artwork, comics. We're going to be introducing a whole line of VeVe accessories, rocks, plants, tables, couches, everything, so you can decorate your world. Number three, you can bring in non-VeVe NFTs. You got a Bored Ape, you got a whatever. You can bring that in. Number 4, because we want a lot of 3D content in the world, and quite frankly, I don't have enough time to make it all. So we are going to be setting up a crowd content platform where there's so many amazing 3D artists in the world, so they can create content, you know, whether it's accessories, worlds, anything, they can submit that, and then they can choose to give it away, or they can choose to mint it as an NFT and sell it through the VeVeVerse. This will make sure that there is always a large amount of rich content. Your worlds can be different from everyone else. So content is a really big thing in the VeVeVerse. Now, everyone's probably wondering when the hell is this happening? Alex said I can't say hashtag soon anymore. So there are 4 major phases. So number 1 is in Q1 next year. We will be rolling out the VeVe home space. Now, this is essentially the replacement to the existing showroom feature within the VeVe product. The showrooms as they stand will still remain, so don't worry if you're Voldaholics, if you've created amazing ones. But you will now, in Q1, be able to enter your new VeVe home, which was previously called the, thanks Anthony, previously called the showroom. Q2, we are already working with a number of our IP partners to bring in worlds and showrooms and hubs to show off their content. So that's going to be phase 2. Phase 3, we're going to be bringing in customizable avatars. And that's where, what our major plan for that is that you can start wearing your favorite branded items. You want a Marvel t-shirt, you want to wear your Jermaine Rogers t-shirt on your avatar. We want to make sure that we can have that happen for you. Q4, gamification. So for example, we might have worlds that are like a racetrack world where if you own a, say for example, a Lambo, which apparently is dropping soon, you can go and race that against your friends. Maybe for pink slips. You lose the car. Okay, so now let's actually dive in to the VeVeVerse and have a look. Now, one thing that's very cool is I'm actually already in the VeVeVerse. Let me just click on this. So I'm actually doing this demonstration directly from inside the VeVeVerse. I'm going to press 11 to bring the menu up. And then I'm just going to jump into Walk Interactive, and there's my avatar. So right now I'm looking off my platform, but as I turn around, here is my new VeVe home space. Okay. Now, just keep in mind, this is how we've decided to roll it out in terms of the aesthetics from the beginning. But in the future, you might want your VeVeVerse to be a fantasy castle or steampunk or whatever you want. So there's going to be a ton of different types of buildings and these sort of islands here that you can choose and decorate as much as you want. So I'm just going to quickly jump into fly mode because there's a number of different awesome ways that we can navigate around. As you can see, we've got Anthony and Eagle in the back there. We've got a really cool video streaming feature, so you can show your face in here. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So I want to show you the full sort of scope. So when I first came into the VeVeVerse, this was all empty. So everything you see in here are all the collectibles that I've put in from my collection. Some of you might recognize we've got some features in there from Brock McBlockchain, which is pretty cool, flying around here. So your VeVe home space is made up of 2 main parts. Number 1, the island down the bottom, which is essentially your exterior, and the building itself, which you can enter in, and we're going to jump in that, have a look later on. But just to start off with, I'm just going to have a bit of a fly around so you can see some of the world. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to go back into walk mode. Let me just get over here. And you can see we've already got a whole number of people here wandering around with their avatars. Let me just jump back into Walk Interactive mode. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky to talk and walk. Yeah, hold the mic for me. Yeah, Dave, hold the mic for me. Okay, so I'm just going to walk around a little bit here. I'm just going to quickly jump back into fly mode. pop up here. Okay, so let's go for a little wander around my exterior. So you'll see all of these rocks up here. I've just placed them there because I thought, hey, rocks would look cool. This is an example of the particle system we've got in here. There's also spatial audios. You can't hear it now, but as I walk closer to this fire, the crackling gets louder and louder. I can run around here. You see I've got some awesome labbits. I've got the VeVe gold logo because David gave me one because he's so nice. I've got a few other people wandering around here. I've got my killer croc. And all of these items, as I mentioned, I have placed in here. So we've got the beautiful Brett Crawford, which is dropping tomorrow. Honestly, one of my favorite pieces. He's such a famous artist. We had to put it in there. We've got Brian VeVeVerse. He is so cool. I really, really love this piece. I'm just going to check my notes to see what I'm meant to be talking about next. Hang on a minute. I can't go off script because other people are meant to be following what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So number one, as you can see, I've got a Ready Player Me avatar here. All of these other users in here, they've gone to Ready Player Me, created an avatar, and they've imported it, which is very, very simple to do. As I showed you before, there's a bunch of different navigation modes. We've got just standard walk mode, or I've got interactive mode, which is what I'm doing now. I can be in first person if I wanted to. I can also go on fly mode, which you saw just a little bit before. And there's a bunch of other tools here, like I can go into top view. So for example, if I wanted to, let me just zoom out here. You know, typical. This is why they call the law of demonstration. It was working perfectly before. But you can actually manage your world from top down, so it's much easier to move all of your items around and everything. I think this is not showing because we've got some atmospheric fog in there. So let me just jump back into interactive. I've fallen through the floor. Doesn't matter. It happens. Okay. Now, so some of the multi-user stuff. I can have my friends list up here. So these are all of the people that are currently in my space. And as I mentioned earlier, I can choose to invite people if I only want them to be, if I want my world to be private. Just bring a little bit closer. If I want it to be private, or I can make it public so anyone can get in here. Anthony, I'm going to follow you. Actually, Anthony, do you want to follow me? Yeah. And I'm just going to jump into walk interactive mode. Okay, so Anthony should be following me. There he is there. So as I move around, he's following me. Yeah. Don't cover that up. Yeah. So, for example, you could be doing a little tour and you can have all of these people kind of following you around. Anthony's just showing up as this screen at the moment because he hasn't set his avatar. What else we got? In terms of communication tools, we've got audio. See at the top here, I can turn audio on or off. I can turn video on. Let's see if so here's my camera working right here. Okay, so I can actually, anyone can have their video turned on here at any time. We can do, what else we got? Video thumbnail, which I showed you. Video avatar. We've also got chat tools, so we can all basically, anyone in the space can chat with each other. We've got a whole bunch of other features like stream boards, whiteboards. Anthony, do you want to demonstrate some of the stream boards? I'm just going to follow you. Turn my camera off for a start. Who wants to see that? Where are you, Anthony? Yep, there we are. Okay, so I'm following Anthony now. Anthony, do you want to bring up a stream board? Am I following the right Anthony? That's the thing. Oh, no, I'm not. Here we go. Where are you, Anthony? Yeah. So do you want to pull up a stream board there? So we wanted to make sure that there's a lot of different ways for people to interact in the world. I'm just going to see if what's going on. We want to pull up the stream board, Anthony. Am I following you correctly? Dave, you've got to hold that to my mouth. Sorry. One job. Okay. I'm just going to stop following you, Anthony, and I'm just going to whip it up myself. Okay, so I can go under insert content here, and I can pull up things like whiteboards. So I basically just click here. I can tap on it, press F to zoom into it, and then I can basically start drawing with the draw tools here. I can change all my colors. See, Anthony and I are actually now drawing interactively, so it's all multi-user. I can also go, yo, and type on here. Or I could dictate it in, and as we can see, Anthony's typing. So anybody wants to do any kind of interactive like experience, or you want to show something off, you're talking about, maybe a new video you've dropped, you can do it with the whiteboards. Thanks, Anthony. I'll jump out of there now. Okay, you want to play? Oh, I'm going to lose. I suck at that game. Bye. We can also import user board. So I can click on this, and I can pull this up at any time, and I can see, exactly who's in my world. Or of course, I could use the this one down the side here. But for example, I might put this right by my front door, so people can see who's in the world. Just see what else was next here. Text to draw tools. Yep. Notes. Yep. Great. So what we're going to do now. And actually, yeah, just to explain again, all of these items I've brought in myself. So these are some of the accessories that we started playing around with. So let me just get my keyboard back here. These are some of the dragons. Some of you guys might recognize this, Scott Tollison. David was giving me shit all week because he thinks they're too small. But hey, this is my VeVe home space, so I can do what I want. All right, so as I mentioned before, we've got the exterior, we've got the interior. Let's just run up the top here, have a look at the old DeLorean. Oh, sorry. I'm not really much of a gamer these days. Yeah, I'll do a quick return to start. You know what? When I was a gamer, I was first-person shooter, so I'm just going to run into first person. And here we have, who's this guy? David. Wouldn't be a VeVeVerse without David. And obviously we've got the DeLorean here. So yes, this will be interactive and it will be flyable. You will be able to jump in it and fly around, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into the interior now. And just for to make the demo a little bit quicker, I'm just going to Alt-Tab. We've got another instance running. So here I am on the inside. In order to get here, I can just simply walk up to the door and jump straight in. So the interior of the space is fully customized by myself. So as you can see, I've added this couch in, added all my Lincoln skate decks on the wall, my Ron English up here, added some shelves and plants as accessories, a few more Scott Tollison. Sorry about my voice, I spoke and screamed too much last night. And all of the walls in here I've put up as well. So your space will start off empty, and you can really do what you want with it. You can choose to put up walls, or it could be a 12-car garage. You can also load multiple different rooms. So it's kind of like a magical space. You might have one room for your cars, one room as a museum gallery, one room as something else. So you're not limited to this one room. You can have many, many different rooms. And those rooms can also be themed. One might be, as I mentioned, a 12-car garage. One might be a corner of Gotham. One might be, David Hughes' hairline. Who knows? Now, as I walk up a little bit closer here, feature that we know everybody wants. Let me just jump into first person. Yeah. I can have all of the notes of what collectibles I've got showing, because whenever you invite someone to your room, you want them to know that you've got edition number 40, which I stole from the company, by the way, I'll give it back, and what the rarity is. So the perspective from Patrick Hughes looks really, really good in the VeVeVerse as well. This beautiful lush plant over here. Got some Tara. Thanks, Tara, for stopping by. We've got Lauren. I just got to do a quick shout out to Lauren. He's one of the engineers. Him and the rest of the team worked very hard all week to help get this demo up and running. So round of applause. And of course, we've got all of our Vice Lord, which is dropping later on. Very, very beautiful. This is the glass one, and you can see how beautiful the reflection is. This is the wood version, the marble version, the black version. Now, I've put all of these lights in up here, right? So you can actually set up lights. It could be a spotlight, it could be a point light, it could be anything. So I can just come in here, I can go content, I'm going to type in light. Oops, if I can spell it correctly. And let's add a spotlight. Okay, and I click. Okay, here it is here. Content's loading. Let me just jump up. And then I can move that light around. I can rotate it. Everything. I can even go into the properties of that light. I know this looks a little bit complicated at the moment, but it'll get a lot easier, I promise you. And where is the light features? Hang on. Here it is here. Oh no, it's going to make a liar of me. Okay, I think we've got that set up. So basically what I was going to show is that right now on the spotlight we've got a very hard edge, but we can adjust it with sliders so it's all nice and soft and beautiful. And you can really set it up as to how you want. Also, all of the colors, the textures, everything in here you can change. And you can change it to whatever you want, but just to give you a quick demonstration, we've set up this cool little material switcher just to give the demonstration. So I can click on this, and you'll see the floor color will change. So the whole reason behind this is that we really want the VeVe, your VeVeVerse, your home space to be completely customized to you. That's why we're going to have lots of different buildings, lots of different materials, etc. I can jump back and I can change the wall colors up here. So you can see it's very customizable. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That's your sort of style, isn't it, Dave? Yeah. Let me just check my list. What else we got here? We've got a few other cool things for, like creator tools. Like if you want to be demonstrating someone, you can use like a pointer. So if I want to be doing a demonstration, if you want to get really technical, we've got measuring tape, so I can measure how long that is, 0.8 meters. I can drag it up there. If I want to measure things out perfectly. Now, let me just drop some content in here. Obviously, we've got the beautiful Batman up here. He looks really good. And wait till you guys see this demo in VR. Okay, let me just insert Brian VeVeVerse. Okay, oh, somebody's added a green light. Perfect. I'm going to drop the character there. So it's just loading the content. Okay, and here she is, looking awesome. Now, I can click on her, bring out the properties. You can see we've got all the different animations. So, for example, if you've got an animated character, you can choose to loop it. Excuse me. Or you can choose to pause it at a specific frame. So if you wanted to set up a battle between Spider-Man and Batman, you can choose to pause it at a specific area. So lots of customization. Anthony's already made it bigger for me, so that's great. Thank you, Anthony. Yep, love it. Perfect. So you can see all of the content in here we can basically bring in. You can scale it. You can change the colors. You can adjust the animation. The other content in here we've just locked for now, but normally I'd be able to click on this couch and move it around if I owned it. So Anthony, do you want to bring up a stream board in here so we can have a look at it? I can hold that now. This is your second chance, Anthony, to bring up a stream board, or else David's going to dock your pay. Here we go. He's brought it up. Okay. Oops. Okay, so this is a stream board. It allows you to bring in other content. So for example, if you were a YouTuber and you wanted to do a demonstration, or premiere your video in your own VeVe home space, you can basically bring it in here. Anthony, do we need to rotate that? Yeah, there we go. There's Anthony. Round of applause for Anthony. Yay. So see, you can live stream your video. Or Anthony, do you want to change to another input? He's out the back in the back room there, by the way.
Wired.
Yeah. Ah.
Awesome.
Okay. No pressure, Anthony. Well, this one's a lot louder.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Actually, let me see if I can take over his one. Okay, I'm just going to add a stream board of my own because Anthony's taking too long. And then I can come into my streaming here, and I can choose what I'm going to stream. In this particular case, I'm just going to stream exactly what I'm looking at, which is a little bit Inception. But as I move around, the video will update. So this could be a video of you. It could be, like I say, a premiere of a video you've got on your YouTube channel, etc. So that is just a couple of examples of what you can do in the VeVeVerse. There is actually a ton more, but I know we've got on a little bit of a time demo limitation at the moment. But I just wanted to reiterate that the VeVeVerse is real. This is not something that we're magically doing from the server. Looking to roll it out in Q1. We'll be inviting beta users in first. And yes, Votaholics, you guys will probably be the first ones in.
Oh, let's go.
Yep. It is fully customizable, VeVe collectibles, non-VeVe collectibles. You can bring in comics. Oh my God, yes, that's finally happening. Yes. You might even be able to read them in there as well. Yeah. So I'm going to be around for Q&A if anybody's got any questions. After this demo, we're actually going to be setting up 2 VR headsets. I can assure you the experience of the VeVeVerse through the VR headset is absolutely amazing. So the line might be long, but I definitely recommend that you do it. Thank you, everyone. See you in the VeVeVerse. Yeah. And hello to everybody on the live stream. Big round of applause for everyone. Thank you.